Alright, so my name's Dan Jones and I make videos on YouTube, and today's going to be a little different than my normal stuff. I'm actually working on a little project, and I thought, what the hell, I'll record myself doing it so I can share it. So my girlfriend has this Halloween themed lamp that is like a porcelain, I guess, clay, whatever, I don't know. It's a witch pumpkin jack-o'-lantern thing. Her grandmother painted it and I guess put it in the oven thing that cooks it or whatever, long time ago. 1991, that's what year is marked on the bottom. So she wanted to hook this up, and I saw the power cord for it and I said, hells to the no. That is some not UL listed looking power cord right there with some janky looking switch. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a PCB that you can get on, from this company, Elegoo, I think that's how you say it. And I like their stuff. They got a lot of cool like hobby stuff, you know, hobby electronics. And this is just a blank PCB board that we're gonna put some LEDs on and power it with a DC power pack that's a little safer than what this is. AC straight into this old school incandescent light bulb and some wire nuts that I'm sure are top quality. And we're gonna put this in here and probably glue it in with some hot glue or something sticky and light it up and give it a little bit of a more modern electronics theme to it. So I'm gonna set this aside and set it over here and hopefully not break it. And so I'm gonna actually scrap some stuff here. So I actually have an old 5-volt DC power pack that I'm gonna use to power this thing. And since these prototype boards don't really have anything on them, obviously they're blank, I need to take a ring tip connector off of an old, looks like a router of some kind that does not work anymore, because I know I've taken other things off of it, and I'll probably get these caps off there eventually too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up my iron, and I got my AOYE, however you say it, AOYUE iron, and normally I use this for my quad repair stuff. While that's heating up, I'm going to show you, I kind of prototyped this and drew a very basic diagram of what I want, which is basically voltage in hitting a 10 microfarad capacitor and then a 20 ohm resistor. And that's hopefully gonna make the longevity of these little LED diodes last a little longer. And I thought for the holidays, I only had 2, but I got 2 of the big bright orange LEDs, and then I got a yellow and a red. So there'll be 4 LEDs in series, just one right after the other, positives across the board bridged and then negatives across the board bridged. And then back out to the capacitor, and then that's going to hopefully work. So I actually can test it while the iron's heating up, and I'm gonna put my red into the center and my black to the outer shielding, and let's see if we can get this bad boy to work. I don't know if you can see that too well. There we go. I just got to get the wire to make contact. And so that's what it'll kind of look like. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it'll have a nice orange, red, yellow glow as to simulate a jack-o'-lantern with LEDs. And these are the exact parts I'm going to use, and I'm going to solder them to this breadboard, or not breadboard, but I guess PCB board. And I'm going to check my iron here. First thing I got to do is extract this port. So I'm going to get a brush and my soldering flux, and I'm going to douse this bad boy. A little overkill actually, so that's all right. Just doing this for fun. I like to have fun, and it's YouTube, so let's see if we can get this bad boy heated up. Grab some solder. I think this whole project I'm gonna do 60/40 because I don't really care about it. I use the 63/37 for the quads. And let's see how hot my iron is. I'm gonna need tools. This thing is not just gonna pop off of here. They probably used lead-free solder, be my guess. And so whenever you have devices like this that have lead-free solder, I noticed that you really gotta heat up that iron. I know this is improper use of a soldering iron, but I don't care. Gonna buy a new tip after this, I think, anyway. Just trying to transfer some heat here. There we go. Because best part about old electronics is you don't care what happens to. There we go. We're getting some of that. There we go. Let's get that thing out of here. It is so hard to get these off of here. All right. Let's see how badly that went. Not too bad, actually. That came out pretty well. I don't know how well you can see it, but good enough for me. Set that in the garbage. And we're gonna actually check it. We're gonna make sure it's in good shape. All right, so we're gonna test to see if we have voltage. And hopefully we do. I got 5 volts, good to go. All right, she's passing voltage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tin this main pad here. I don't know how well you can see this in this camera. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna tin this and I'm going to then sort of kind of rig this up because this is a hot and this is a negative. So what I'm ultimately gonna go for here, and I don't have to do it nice, I can actually just kind of mount it like this, or maybe even like this, and just snip that off and do that. That might be the way to go. Let's tin the pad first. And heat it up a little bit. Let's see how we're gonna do this. There's one pad. There's 2 pads. Don't breathe that crap in. Let's get this bad boy over here extracting my smoke. Alright, turning it way down. Let's get some cutters and we'll get a screwdriver here. Let's see here. We want to... what I'm trying to do is I'm going to flatten this out so I can just tin this. Basically, let's see what we got here. And it sticks. Alright, so we have semi-tinned this very janky connector. Alright, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply heat to the negative. Done. And it looks like my positive I'm gonna overshoot. So originally I had planned to make this the positive here. So I'm just gonna kind of push that down. First thing I'm gonna do is tin it. So I didn't tin them. There we go. Now we're gonna push them together. And that might do it. Yup. Done and done. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that power cord in there. So it's just going to have to sit underneath of it. I don't want to break this and I don't want to cut this. So pretty much the way I'm looking at it here is this hole is just not big enough. That's what she said. So I'm gonna just stick the whole thing in and just run the wire right to it and mount this internally. Yep, 5 volts, I'm good. If you are ever curious as to what's great junk wire that is awesome for soldering, I cannot recommend silver satin enough for little projects like this. Yeah, this stuff, I mean, who uses a corded telephone anymore? Ugh. There we go. So we're gonna extract some of this wire out of here. I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna tin these wires. I'm actually like thinking this out as I'm doing that. If you can't tell, I don't know what to tell you. Done and done. This one gonna be a little trickier. Let's get the helping hands involved. That should do it. Alright, we'll check continuity on the other side. Again, I am a stickler for checking my soldering because I'm not that great at it, and honestly, I just don't like starting over. Probably should have unplugged it before soldering it, but whatever. Live big or go home. 5 volts, we're good. Okay. Alrighty. Step 2, unplug it. It's DC, so it can't really hurt you. I mean, it can, but not at these levels. Alright, so next step is I'm going to solder in the positive of the capacitor. And I'm actually going to use the rows as they are. I'm going to stick these both in their designated holes. Solder them in. So let's do that. Let's tin this out. Actually gonna kind of do this a little backwards, but it's a kind of a rig up job, so we're not too worried about professionalism here. Okay, I really want to know where my other snips went. And that takes care of the cap. Positive, negative, all right. Next, we're gonna take off the positive leg here, the resistor. And we're gonna stick that in, and we're going to just bridge it right here, real careful like. And same dealio. I'm going to bend the wires and tin the one side. All we're really doing is keeping it in there, that's it. And snipping off the excess. Great thing is I actually have a snip just for this. It's just I can't find it, so good times. Ooh. Oh, did I hurt myself? Must have, I'm bleeding. Ow. I poked myself with the... Alright, good times. I'll be bleeding over everything. Good times. This is by no means a how-to. God, I should have said that at the beginning. I'm gonna edit this. Don't follow along. Okay. We'll do the same thing. We'll go... Let's do red. This is the bottom of it now. Not my best job, but you know what? It's for the girlfriend. If she doesn't like it, she can make one herself. Okay, so I realized midway through that I needed to get some extra parts, and watching somebody solder is like watching paint dry. So I got the board all running. I actually lost an LED in the process. The trick with soldering is get in, get out, and too much heat is a bad thing. So I ended up popping one of the LEDs, but no big deal. I'm down to 3 instead of 2. So 2 orange and a red still gets me the color that I wanted. And that's ultimately what it's gonna look like. This is what I did on the bottom. Pretty straightforward stuff. Just bridge with bare wire across the negatives and the positives. Positive, negative, and then I jumpered it. And then on the top, I jumpered it. So basically it goes positive to capacitor to resistor across the LED diodes. And then on the other side, it's just negative back through capacitor on the other side. So the resistor is only on the positive side. And then basically that should keep it to where 5 volts, it's not even warm really, but it'll light, but it won't fry the LEDs, and that's what you want. Honestly, you could pop one of these LEDs. I think these are 3 volt LEDs. I'm not 100% sure on that actually, but I know the little one especially, like they don't like more than, you know, a few volts. So you gotta put a little bit of stopping on there, and that's what the resistor's doing. All right, so next step is I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm just gonna cut it with the side cuts, and then basically I got the hot glue gun warming up right now as we speak, and I'm going to insulate the bottom and the top with hot glue, and then I'm gonna probably just hot glue it into the housing. So my new lamp here will look something like this. Ooh, spooky. And in the dark, it'll look a little better. And if she wants it brighter, I can just add a few more LEDs. So let's get that show on the road. All right, I'm gonna turn it upside down so I know right where not to cut. Let's see, right here ought to do her. So that was pretty quick and easy. This PCB does not take much. And I can even use this little guy for a future project. So that's done, ready to go. Let's see if my hot glue gun is hot enough to produce hot glue. It definitely looks like it is, and we're just gonna smear hot glue all over anything that could bridge. And pretty much the idea here is that if it's sitting in there, it doesn't have the potential to touch. Sometimes, like when you open things that are professionally manufactured, you see like a dab. I'm like, nah, we're not paying by the glue stick here. We are gonna load this bad boy up, and that should do her. Yep, I think I found the perfect spot for it. Downside is I don't have much to hold on to, so I'm gonna roll it, glue it, just squirt glue in there, shove this in there, shove more glue in there, and call it a day. And that should do it. So basically, there it is. It's inside, it's just glued. This should give me easy access to plug it in. But yeah, that's it. So it'll sit like this. You can just plug it right in. It is a little jank to it. I'll admit it. It is a little janky, but it will give us the orange glow. Preserves her grandmother's creation. She painted it and did all that. It takes the safety hazard away, and you know, so it's just a couple of LEDs, capacitor and a resistor in there. Plug it in, let it sit. Halloween's over, pack it up. Just about any 5-volt power pack will work on this. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'm so sorry if you watched the whole thing, but thank you for watching. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I'll always be doing stuff like this, I think. So you're gonna find me building quads, flying quads. I love drones, but I like soldering. So, all right, have a good one. Thanks, YouTube.